and welcome to WRPB. And you know what? Years go by, things change, and with me is Steve Clausen from Colorado Pawn and Jewelry. And we had your wife on like 5 years ago, many moons ago. She was a sweetheart. And when it comes to pawn shops, and I do a lot of shopping there, there's two kinds to me. There's the clean, upscale pawn shop, and then there's the one that has just all the dirty tools and the floor's filthy and whatever. And I'm not saying one is better than the other. They're just very different.
Right, yes.
Colorado Pawn is an upscale, and it's not that things are more expensive. Okay, it's just when you walk in the store, it's clean smelling, it's nice, everything is organized, it's just not grease on the floor. It's very different in that aspect. Okay, so I got to ask you this. Why did you choose that direction?
You know, I started this about 25 years ago, and because I was from Pizza Hut, so I ran restaurants, and it was all about cleanliness, and that was what I always worked for. When you walked into our stores, I wanted the tables and everything to be clean, so you felt good about where you were. Well, my experience with a pawn shop was the Dome down in Miami. And when I walked in, it was gloomy and just didn't look like a place I wanted to be. So when I got into this restaurant, you know, my goal was to change that from a pawn shop to a pawn store. My wife coined that. So now we're a pawn store. You know, our stuff is well organized. We look like a jewelry store when you walk in. You walk in and you see beautiful Tiffany, you know, you see diamonds that are beautiful, and they're all real, you know, lit up and LED lighting. So that's what we work for. We want the mainstream, you know, pawn shops have that stigma that they're dirty, they're stolen items, and it's just not a place I go to unless like I'm really hard up, you know. Right. And we've tried to change that because, you know, we all have stuff that I haven't used for years. You know, my wife's got a box of jewelry that, you know, she's never going to use. Well, you can bring that box of jewelry, and we'll go through it, and we'll turn around and give you $1,000, you know, or whatever it's worth. You know, we'll buy stuff from you, and then you can turn around and buy a Tiffany chain that, you know, retail is $600. You can buy it here for $269.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing about pawn shops, especially when it comes to like jewelry. Jewelry doesn't go bad.
No.
Okay?
No.
So it's, if you buy a gold chain, you buy a gold chain. It's the same gold chain that when it came out of production, you buy
it came out of K Jewelry or Jared's or whatever.
Right.
You know, and we polish it. We have jewelers on site, so we polish it, and it looks like brand new. I mean, you bring your stuff sometimes in, and, you know, people come in to sell me stuff. You know, I'll buy some stuff, say, no, I don't want to sell that. That was my mom's. We'll take it, we'll clean it, and give it back to her. Say, oh, my gosh, it looks new. Yes. And they go out and join us, say, thank you very much. Do I owe you anything for that? No. Appreciate the business. Yeah.
Right. And that's the whole thing, is making that tie and that connection. Okay, so you decide to go into this industry. How long are you doing this?
About 2001. So we're looking at 20 years.
Almost about 20 years.
Yep.
Okay, so you get into this industry. Now it's 2021. A lot of changes in the industry since you got into it?
Yes. You know, obviously, you know, we're all with this COVID stuff. You know, we wear masks in our store, and we were respectful with this. But that changed our whole industry because we're becoming, and it was coming anyways, but that really threw the curve forward of being more of an online and you know, our marketing and everything we do is online. You know, when people go to buy things, you know, they're Amazoning it, they're Googling it, and they're checking things out. So we've had to, you know, change things to where, you know, a lot of our inventory is online so that people can see it, you know, and sometimes we'll ship it to them, but, you know, sometimes they'll come in and look at it, you know, depending on how they feel. But that's changed a lot.
Technology?
You know, technology, yeah. I mean, and once again, it's just, you know, 20 years ago, I mean, I'd look at the stereo system and make sure it works and then make them an offer. You know, now I look at the stereo system and I look for the model and I go to Google and I put it in there and see what they're selling for.
Right. Well,
before I couldn't do that.
You're a business, so you really have to make money.
Exactly.
You know, the ironic part is you're not stuck with a lot of stuff that you probably were stuck with in the past. which allows you to
Right.
keep your prices down even
Right.
more.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the things, if we get stuck with things, it's usually because, either we didn't do a good job of testing it or bringing it in, or, it's a customer that we've helped for years, and it's Wayne that's come in, and he's come in for 15 years and he brings the same stuff. Well, when I first started, it was worth $50. Now he brings the same TV in. I give him $50, and then he leaves. I can't sell the TV for $25, but that's part of the business, and because TVs have, prices have come down on a lot of electronics and stuff.
Okay.
Like big thing before, we used to have all these speaker boxes in the stores. Now, if it's not Bluetooth, we're scared to touch it because we can't sell it.
Right.
Yeah.
You mentioned something in the green room about, we were talking about stolen items and a site that they go on, and that's a technology change from the beginning, where they try to match up the pieces to make sure. So I'm guessing that it cuts down on
stolen items. Yes, yeah. It's directly. We work directly with the police departments in both in Port St. Lucie County and Martin County, and all pawn shops are required to do this, and we report all our transactions on a site called Leads Online, and all police departments can go online and see the descriptions and try to match up. So if somebody calls up, say, hey, somebody broke into my house and they stole my Trek bike, and I the first conversation I'll have is, do you know what model it is? Yeah, it's a Trek. Do you know what model it is? Or what? Yeah, it's whatever, Montebo or whatever it is. And so I said, look, I'm going to give you the local, where do you live? I'm going to give you the local police department. It's Martin County. Call them, ask for the pawn, tell them you have something stolen, ask for the pawn, and they'll report it, and then they'll try to match it up on that Leads Online. So if it comes into a pawn shop, if you're a thief and you're bringing stuff into the pawn shop, that's not good because you're going to get caught. Okay, and we get all your information. If you come in, if you don't have an ID and it's not current, you're not doing any transactions with us. And you have to be over 18. And then we get, we get your driver's license, we get your signature, we get your thumbprint, and then we get, all personal information, phone number and stuff like that. And then we have you sign and thumbprint things, and then we give you the cash of either the pawn or the buy, because we either pawn things or buy stuff from customers.
Okay, so someone comes in the store and wants to pawn, I don't know, something, whatever the item is. So they come to the counter. What's the process? I mean, like for a newbie who's never gone into a pawn shop.
Right. So let's say you come into the store, you've never been into a pawn shop, and obviously you bring something of value. And let's say you have a Cartier bracelet. Okay, you come in this Cartier bracelet because, hey, Steve, I've never been in here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I don't use this Cartier, but either I'm going to sell it or a lot of people come in, I just want to pawn it. And the first thing I ask them is, do you want it back? Oh, yeah, I want it back. Okay, now that's a pawn. Because a lot of people say, no, I just don't want it anymore. I just want to pawn it. Okay, well, we'll buy it from you. Okay, so the first thing you got to do is qualify the customer on really what the intention is. Okay, if they're going to do a pawn, my next question is going to be, how much do you want? Because I want to meet your need.
Right.
And when they say as much as I can get, I get a little worried. Because then they're probably just selling it.
Right, they're not coming back.
If they tell me, look, Steve, I'm in a jam, I need $1,000. Okay, let me see what I can do. And then I'm looking at the piece, I'm verifying what it is, make sure it's Cartier, make sure it's, what it is. I may look it up and see what it is if I've never seen it. And if I know that, hey, I can sell it for at least $1,500, $2,000, I'm like, yes, ma'am, no problem. I can do this. I can do $1,000. And then I explain to them the transaction. We charge 20%. In Florida, the max amount that you can charge is 25%. But we've been around for now 37 years, and we just have stayed at 20%. Okay, so we charge 20%. So on $1,000, it'd be $200. So today is the 26th. So by the 26th of February, you can pick up your Cartier for the $1,000 plus $200, so $1,200, and you take it home. And he said, that's perfect, because I'm getting a check, and that'll work great.
Well,
So-
a lot of people go through that. Especially
right. So then I get their ID, put all the information in, get their signature, get their thumbprint, and then give them the cash, and then the Cartier and the stuff goes in the safe. Okay? If I buy something or if I do a loan, it goes in the safe, nobody sees it. A lot of people are concerned that, well, you're not going to have my Cartier bracelet. No, it's going in the safe, it's safe, it's insured, and nobody touches it. My employees don't even touch it. It sits in the safe, and it sits there for 30 days, and it's part of the pawn law. We don't touch things, until the date comes out to where you haven't picked it up, or if it's a buy, it's the 30 days, so it's a 31 day. So I'm taking it out and I'm pricing it, cleaning it up, and trying to
So
put
even
it
on
my
a buy,
shelf.
you have to wait 30 days.
30 days, yes, sir.
Do I have that 30 days to come back and buy it back? I mean,
You could. We'll work with you. The reality of it though is if it's something that I feel uncomfortable with, I'm going to hold it for that 30 days until I sell it back to you. Okay.
and I get that. I mean, you run your business.
but I've had situations where you come in with a Cartier, and you tell me you're going to sell it, and then you leave, and then tomorrow you call me up and say, Steve, I kind of regret selling my Cartier. And we'll just cancel it and give it back to you and be done with it.
You're right. The business that you're in has a stigma to it.
Yes.
Now, over the years, like I said, I deal with I've been in a lot of pawn shops, and honestly, that stigma, like tattoos, should almost be gone, because the industry looks like it's cleaned itself up really, really well. I mean, I go into your store and it's like I'm in a store. It's not like I'm in a pawn shop.
Right. Well, thank you.
What's ironic is that I'm a Brooklyn boy, so when I moved here and I said pawn shop, it came out porn shop.
Porn shop.
Because that's how we talk up north. And it's like, my wife was like yelling at me.
Yeah, what are you doing at the pawn shop?
Yeah, it's like, really, it's really, really weird. Okay. So we're here today. What do you see the future of your industry?
As the economy fluctuates and politics goes on, I would tell you our industry is pretty safe. I used to work for Pizza Hut for years, and Pizza Hut's almost gone.
Right.
Okay. And when I worked there, it was the thing, and then Domino's and Papa John's comes, and then delivery comes, the sit down's gone. So things evolve and change. The one thing that a pawn store does is, obviously we help people that are in a need, and Americans, like probably most societies, spend more than what they make.
Yeah.
Okay. We tend to when we get it, we see it, we buy it. Okay. So when you're in a jam, what do? You pick it up, call mom and dad, and they're going to help you. What if they're not around? What if you've done that several times? I'm not going to call them up. So we're a need. And once people come in and meet us and meet my employees, they feel comfortable, and they're not afraid. And we don't put your mugshot out online and say, hey, he did a pawn here. It's a private transaction. You can come in and nobody will know.
It's a two-sided business,
and we'll help you.
If times are tough, you go and you pawn,
Right.
sell your item. If times are great, what do? You go and buy items.
Right.
I can't tell you how many things I bought at pawn shops that, one, you would never know, okay, and two, that were perfect. And if you deal with the right people and there's an issue, they've always been there to take care.
Right.
And I've had very good experiences. Never have I had a bad experience. And I've done a lot of transactions.
Right. But you were talking about the future, and I think, the future is that it's going to be more and more acceptable to go to the pawn store, because it's people need the cash, and people are, right now we're getting a lot of people coming in buying gold and silver coins. Why? Because of the economy. because of the stimulus money we're giving out, then, there's concern what's going to happen to the dollar. Well, put your money into gold and silver.
Right.
I mean, we're selling most of our silver coins because people are coming in and buying it. And then the other thing is, garage sales and stuff like that is kind of a thing of the past. I remember when I grew up, that used to be a Sunday thing. We go out in the afternoon and we go to
all the time.
Now you don't see them. No. The best thing, those good items, bring them to a pawn store and try to sell them, turn them to cash. That way you don't have strange people coming into your yard and stuff and get rid of stuff.
And wasting a whole day.
And then especially like diamonds, gold, old jewelry. Don't take it to Goodwill.
No, don't.
Because I have a lot of people that go to Goodwill and Salvation, and they come in and say, "Hey, Steve, how you doing? Can you check this?" And I'll look at it and say, "You did good. How much you pay for it?" "I'll tell you after you tell me what you're going to get." "Well, I'm going to give you $250. "Yeah, I paid $10 for it."
Right.
I mean, it's like, whoa.
Okay. There's a picture in my office.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a Disney print. Okay. I bought it at probably Goodwill. I paid $5.95. Okay. The least I find it online is $799.
Right.
I was offered $1,700 for it. It's signed with stamp Disney original.
Yeah.
So you really never know. But don't think that you won't find those kind of deals in a pawn shop.
Right.
Because I found some great deal.
Yeah.
I bought, when I started, I didn't have any money. I bought video cameras at prices that you can't, you can't even touch.
Yeah, if you need a camera or stuff, you can find nice, you're starting in photography or just need extra lenses. I mean, we get some very nice camera lenses and stuff in there.
And there are prices that are amazing. Okay, how do people find you? You have a address? You have two locations.
We do have two locations, and we still have brick and mortar. We have one in Stewart, which has been there for years. It's at Canner and Monterey. The address is 2275 South Canner Highway. It's right north of Wawa, the new Wawa. And then the other store is in Port St. Lucie, and we opened that in 2012. It's a beautiful store, and it's at 1168 Southeast Port St. Lucie Boulevard. So at Westmoreland and Veterans Parkway, right across from the Publix. It's that busy intersection with Walgreens,
there's a bank there,
McDonald's, and then we're right by Seacoast.
Right.
There's a building right there, there's a sushi restaurant. Both very nice locations, and I can tell you, the team members I have are awesome. They're very good people. They take care of you. They care about you, and we're not there to steal your items. We'll tell you, hey, we will pay you this if you put it on eBay and try to sell it. You'll get more, and this is what you get, but you're going to have to deal with that.
Right. You gotta ship it.
Or you got to ship it. You got to deal with the customers, and then so
I get that.
It's interesting. It's a fun business.
What's your website?
Website is Colorado. You got me. ColoradoPawnJewelry.com. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know what?
Yeah.
If you haven't been to a pawn shop, this is the one to go to. Check them out. I got to tell you, there's so many different items, okay, that you could be there for hours looking at stuff. And if you're looking for something specific, that's going to be the place to
just
find
call us. You can just call us, and then also if you have something that you want opinion on, you can just shoot a picture and text us with our numbers.
Really?
Yeah, you can just shoot a picture and both store numbers that you can just Google. You can just email us a picture.
Wow.
Just text us a picture. The other thing, you were going to ask me what's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Well, right now I have a really cool item in one of my stores. I have it's a slot machine, and it's a 1937 Mills Company slot machine.
Wow.
And it's on a wood base. It's just awesome. It's beautiful. And that's what we were talking before that I love about this business is when I go to work, you just never know what you're going to see.
Yeah, right.
People walk in with the coolest things, and everybody has a story. They say, "Wow, Steve, you know a lot." Everything I learn is from my customers. They come in and you listen to the story of what they've done and where they've got it from, and that's where we learn things. It's really a blast.
Do you find that, obviously real estate, people are sentimental about their items, which makes it very difficult to buy from them because they think it's worth a ton because they have a sentimental attachment to it?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that comes into play a lot, and that's where, a lot of people won't get rid of it. And I say, well, just think about it. This is what I offer, and we'll take the card and we'll write it on there and say, just think about it, and shop around. There's other pawn stores around here.
Right.
Shop around, and you don't have to sell it. And then they think about it. Sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, some things are sentimental, and it doesn't have a price.
Right. And I have like stuff from my dad, like from his military, that I keep telling, I'm going to get rid of it.
Yeah, and that's tough. Military paraphernalia is tough, because the resale value was your dad's, so who's going to be interested in it? It's more of a collectability.
Bars, right.
Yeah.
But
you don't want to melt it. Like, I get some of that stuff, and I don't want to damage it or melt it. I want to try to sell it to somebody who's going to display it or do something with it.
He also left me a lot of 1893 silver dollars and then some Korean money because he was in Korea. And it's like, well, it's just sitting in the box. What am I going to do with it? All right, I'll take it to the pawn shop. And then I just don't do it, and I'll hold it.
Hold it till silver hits over 30. Right now it's at $25.44. The gold's at 18, like 55. So
I look at it like this. I look at it as, if I need the money, it's there.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
I had a ring that I had custom made. And it was, every time I wore the ring, something bad happened. So I never wore the ring. And it was gold nugget with 3 diamonds. I ended up taking it to a pawn shop because I felt it was bad luck for me. I'm kind of very sentimental too. This wedding band is from 1930. It was my grandparents' wedding band. My wife's engagement ring is my dad's wedding band, and I had the thing put on top and I had the diamond put in there. I'm into that.
Right.
Being different and creative.
Interesting.
What's cool is if you go to the pawn shop, you're going to find stuff that's not everything there is factory made. A lot of stuff there is was someone else who custom
made it. You're right.
Stuff that you can find
really
one of a kind pieces of.
Yes.
Okay, that are amazing. With that, we're at the top of our time. Check out Colorado Pawn and Jewelry. They're in Stewart and they're in Port St. Lucie. Everybody have a great day. Steve, thanks for coming on.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll be right back.